I need oil, bro. I've been meaning to grab this generator. Anyways. Oh gosh. Hopefully this bad boy still works. Only have one wheel. Alright, sorry about that. I don't know when my phone died, but I got this attached up here on the window from the outside. Looks like that from the inside. It's not too pretty, but you know, 49 degrees in here. That's pretty cool. It's 9 degrees outside. Stove's ripping. Yeah, money. It's good stuff. Not bad boys. Let's go. Oh, finished. Nah, don't worry about it. Also, we got some other goals anyways. We just unplug what I can. Oh my gosh, can't even get to them. Alright. That's it. Y'all should go get shit. Because I can't think of a day I haven't had to say the same thing. Don't bring up that bullshit on my show or TV. Now they can type whatever they want. But when you've got people that acting like they fool with me, I don't know how y'all can't do some research and find out, okay, like maybe this is the number one thing I shouldn't do with this.
Y'all over here trying to act cool?
I don't know what y'all are talking about. I don't never had that on my show. I don't affiliate with those cocksuckers. They're broke druggies. I don't have trash on my show. I don't listen to what trash tries to say about me. They don't know me. How are they going to speak on someone they know nothing about?
Oh, hey, Blazy, what's up, bud?
The end. That's the way you should look at it. Not something wrong. It's just that fucking simple. Like I said, I will not be reading the chat very often, so y'all chat away in there, get your comments up, spread the hate, do what you do. It's hate too. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say about me, bro. I don't take YouTube seriously. Anyone on and all y'all are fucking joke. And other than that, what's my business?
Yeah, he's only been repeating himself for, you know, how long has he been on radio? Let's see here, 50 years, and he's 35, 36 years old. Yeah, he definitely doesn't repeat himself.
My business is people want to prove that they real and back they shit up.
Such a dart.
I don't expect anything out of nobody on here. I don't believe anyone on here. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. If I'm trying to establish and build trust with someone, it's kind of fucked up and detrimental to that when you start including those people. The minute I hear a name out of those people that I don't fuck with, you're losing all my trust in me. Because now it feels like a setup and it feels like I'm going through the same exact thing that I've been through now, what, maybe 20 times on here? Why can't y'all separate this?
Triggered and pressed.
Separate this. It's not that hard. If people come to bother you, if people come say something, so what? What does that have to do with me? So don't say there's an emotional tug. There's no emotional tug of war. I'm not in a tug of war with them. I'm not in a competition with no one. I'm not in the back and forth with anything. I just come do me in this corner and I do my show. Okay?
40 years.
And if I have to repeat myself again, I'm putting hands on someone. It's that simple. Do not, under any circumstance, bring me anything from these people. Or you're involved in yourself in a
Oh, yeah.
Your name will be in it, and I will take you to court, and I'll fuck up your life. You understand? And I won't stop it.
Yeah, he's done that to me so many times lately. It's insane.
You do anything towards it, don't fucking do it.
I've tried to go up on his channel. Blocks so good. And he knows exactly who I connection where he knows I'm watching him, he knows I'm fucking with him, but he doesn't want to acknowledge the fact that I'm just shitting on him, and I'm literally shitting on him. I'm sending him dump cakes in a motherfucking email. I'm not proud of it, but it's grown on me a bit, you know. Sometimes I look at the dump and I go, that one doesn't look healthy enough. I'm not gonna send that one. I'll wait until I get a better one and send that, you know. But I'm sending him all kinds of shit in emails. He just won't acknowledge it.
All right. So like I said, all that bullshit, it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't stress me. It has no power in my life. And I continue to say this, and this is the truth. And then you've always got someone
trying to champions
to bring it up again. No, that's not how it works. No. Well, the way it works is I don't fuck with none of you bitches. I don't fuck with nobody.
Yeah, it's because you're not African American, Blazy.
Because we don't have.
And you don't have boobs.
I have never had trolls on the show in my 12 years of doing.
Don't feel bad.
And you all think it's cute to everything I say that's true. Act like, yeah, we're gonna prove it wrong. You're proving it wrong now by trying to force your way into a show. By typing in the comment section right now, I can't stop that. If I could shut down the comment section, believe me, that bitch would have been shut down a long time ago. Because I need to talk uninterrupted.
Word from our sponsor.
What I do, I just don't read it anymore. I don't participate. That's for y'all. Type away, buddy. You got no power. How does it feel to be powerless? Let me know. Because you on here doing whatever you do and talking your shit, but I'm over here talking real shit, and I'm just tired of all you bitches coming out your mouth talking shit sideways and saying something fucking talking down, whether you mean it to or not. All we talk about is real shit on here. I don't know what y'all talk about, but we talk about real shit over here. Everything. Even if I'm joking, I'm talking about real shit. When I talk about the black sector, I'm talking about real shit. The black sector resembles all the black culture right now, and now you're in ignorance, and the culture got replaced by ignorance, and I'm the only one trying to solve the fucking problem. I'm also the only one who brought you any conclusions. Trying to build black.
So this is 4 years ago, and you can always tell when he's like getting a little upset by the points he's making, because he'll start slamming his hand on the table or punching his hands together, you know, just making noise with his voice. I think it's his little way of thinking that he's really getting his point across to everyone. Never watched Tommy Sugmeyer. Is this something I should be looking into? Maybe the OGs can let me know.
So when y'all come over here, it is highly fucking offensive when you don't pay homage and realize what you're doing. Dream, why did you get off the fucking panel right now, buddy? I was about to let you on, man.
Oh, you done fucked up, Dream.
What happened?
You're about to get fucking blocked. Again.
Okay, here it is. Yeah, I just need a minute to talk, brothers, so they can get what I'm saying from me, and I'm going to bring you right on. Can you hear me? I can see you. All right, cool.
Wow, really?
Me and Dream are tight. Me and
no, I did not see that. Where can I find that? One of the Christinas threatened to give Rich and Shamrock all of Joey's emails in his chat today. That's fucking interesting. Was it really a Christina, or was it just a little side troll trying to ease their way in? Well, really ease their way out, because once you go in and say something that triggers him, he's just going to throw you out anyway. But yeah, that's interesting. Did you hear about that, Negasonic? I wasn't paying too much attention.
Yeah,
So,
I wasn't into it too much today.
Was that his last stream, Blue? Because we're going to cover that as well, I think. That one was pretty short. It's like 10 minutes. All right, let me start this back up. You good, Negasonic?
Yeah.
Everything good over there? You going to be okay?
Yeah. I had a mute to do laundry, dog. And I don't do my clothes so they turn to dust and then buy new ones.
Yeah. Is your laundry going to be okay?
I hope so.
You got a cape in there that's all tattered up that might evaporate in the laundry?
I take the mute, dog. What you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to a brand new show with me, Anthony Davis, and him, Michael Popak. We bring you Global AF, where we take an international look at the effects of the Trump presidency. And Michael, I thought we'd start with really the big news out of the White House, and that is that Donald Trump is imposing these insane tariffs on Canada and Mexico, new duties that will effectively, and some people are actually saying, we should start right up here with the jeopardy. Some people are saying this could crash the global economy. What do you think?
Yeah, I think one of the things we're going to focus on at Global AF is sort of the two sides of the coin, right? We're going to talk about how the global community, country by country, is going to react to Donald Trump and retaliate against Donald Trump. And who is the victim of that? It's going to, not because of the global community, because of Donald Trump. It's going to be the American people. Yeah. Donald Trump, you would think after watching the first 12 days, Anthony, that this man has never been the president of the United States before. I mean, honestly, they spent a lot of time and a lot of ink talking about 45 and 47, 45 and 47. Seriously, you would think this guy just wandered in from who knows where, and it's been, it's one of those movies where, the guy that does the lawn ends up being, the president for a week or two.
Chauncey Gardner.
Chauncey Gardner, right, is taking over. It is bizarre. And what
isn't this the proof that there are no adults in the room in this presidency? Yeah. And how much we relied on the adults in the room in the first presidency, where initially he didn't really know what he was doing, so he was taking advice from military generals and people who were kind of career civil servants. But he kind of realized between that presidency and this one that if he gets rid of all those people, there is going to be nobody to tell him no. And a narcissist does not like to hear the N-word.
And the problem in the first 12 days is that I said that normally when you implement such far-reaching policy, economic policy, simultaneously, where in the domestic arena, for instance, here in the U.S., same week, same 3-day period, he decided to take the U.S. out of the U.S. economy, not recognizing the role of the U.S. government in funding federal programs, even down to the state level, and how it makes the economy of the United States hum. So he wants to sideline the U.S. from its own economy. At the same time, he runs underground by chasing them through churches and schools, undocumented, who, whether you like it or not, are law-abiding undocumented who do the dirty jobs in America in various... And pay $65 billion in tax. They've gone underground, which has reduced the ability in our recovery efforts in all the states that have been hit with natural disasters, and segments like construction and our food logistics and supply, all impacted severely by the deportation rates. And then he looked around and said, "What haven't I destroyed? Oh, I get it. The foreign side of our economy. Let's go after our top 2 trading partners with a false narrative about a trade deficit being a bad thing, as opposed to the trillions of dollars of debt and tax cuts being the bad thing. And while we're at it, let me do a solid for the Chinese, who are going to get a better tariff tax base than our allies. Wait till we dive in. I want to hear from you what you think. Of course, what you think Canada, Mexico, Trudeau and the incoming group, Claudia Sheinbaum, and the rest of the world is going to do now that Donald Trump has pulled the trigger on tariffs.
Well, the irony here is that he's chosen two countries that we share a land border with. So you could understand if he wanted to start further away. But he's chosen our two closest trading partners, our two allies, military allies, cultural allies, even as far as, people traveling back and forth. It's not just people seeking asylum that cross the border. Millions of people cross the border every year, both north and south. And he doesn't seem to really think about that side of it either. I think Trudeau took a bit of a pounding, didn't he, when he first went down to Mar-a-Lago to kiss the ring, and then the media kind of went for him. And even though he's on the way out, I think he learned his lesson, and he's now kind of having to change the story a little bit. He's certainly kind of giving the impression, just from what he said.
He's more dangerous on the way out than he was before.
Exactly
to Trump.
Yeah. But maybe we could just circle back for a second, because you and I were chatting just before we started the show, and I want to make the point that none of this stuff, even in any of these executive orders, any of the stuff, is necessary. This is all performative. This is all for Trump to look like a strongman. It has no effect on the U.S. economy. What this fight with these countries is not, if he didn't bother, if he'd have just left it and said, you guys, I'm good with you guys, then we would have prospered and continued to prosper. This is all for one man to feel like he's doing something, because he's not an economist. He doesn't understand about international trade. He doesn't understand about the global community. So he just chooses to pick fights with people like he's a kind of mafia boss. And that is him asserting, he's flexing his muscles, he's asserting his authority. In the process, he's going to crack the U.S. economy. And as we know, America sneezes, the world catches a cold.
Yeah, and this is the playbook from Donald Trump. Create a false narrative of something that's not really going on to create a ridiculous policy, crush a non-existent topic. It's critical race theory being taught to kindergartners when it's a college level or law school level class, or DEI causing 70 victims to be floating in the Potomac, when it had more to do with his budget cuts and the failure to have proper staffing that night, watching helicopters and airplanes in the airspace. And here's the other false narrative, which is we have a Canadian trade deficit problem, or that we're subsidizing Canada by the tune of $200 billion. I'll give you an example just to show what I'm talking about, and then we'll turn to Canada and Mexico. It would be as if Donald Trump woke up tomorrow and said, I am going to put an end to Peruvians infiltrating Major League Baseball. There are Peruvians that are infiltrating Major League Baseball, and I will be passing an executive order tomorrow to address this. Okay, there are no Peruvians that are infiltrating Major League Baseball, but it does give him an excuse to issue an executive order. There is no real trade deficit between Canada and U.S. There's a $1 trillion trade relationship, and there is an infinitesimal, in the grand scheme of things, current deficit of about $48 billion, which in $1 trillion of trade is almost nothing. It's almost a rounding error. And it's only because the things that Canada sells our economy in the U.S. are the things that we need in order to have a GDP. It's used by our manufacturing sector to make our products. That's how fundamental the Canadian supply chain is to the United States. Whether you call it energy, power, minerals, elements, it goes into what we build to export. So that's the last place. Our number one trading partner for electricity on the way in, Donald Trump instead told the American people at Davos in Switzerland during the economic conference and recently that we don't need Canada's trees. We have our own trees. This isn't about trees.
Well, no, that's what he's got to go on. He watches a documentary like he did on the Panama Canal, and then he takes a whole position. Let me quote him, though, because on Thursday he said, we'll be announcing the tariffs on Canada and Mexico for a number of reasons. Number one is that the people that have poured into our country so horribly and so much. Okay, let's not get into the grammar of that. Canada. Number two are the drugs, fentanyl, and everything else that has come into the country. And number three are the massive subsidies that we're giving to Canada and to Mexico in the form of deficits, right? So
Fentanyl, there were 50 interactions between the Border Patrol and people drug smuggling out of Canada, compared to about 5,000